One of our clients sells water coolers. They're a B2B company. That would be my wife. Where are you? What's up?
Hey, I'm outside.
All right, I'll be down in like 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. That was that delayed okay, like get down here. So we'll do this one quick. What's up everybody, Wil Reynolds here. A few weeks ago I recorded a video that talked all about how intent on keywords actually changes over time and what you should be doing about it. So let's go take a look at that. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret of something that I've seen for years that showed me just how good Google's actually getting. So, you search for my name, Wil Reynolds, W-I-L, 1L, Reynolds, right? I'm all the top 10 blue links and I'm all the images. And then one day, I noticed all these suggestions under my name started having words like model in it. And I go, well, why are people searching for my name and model? Well, because there's another Wil Reynolds. And that Wil Reynolds is a model, because this one ain't a model. So, in that moment, I learned a lot about Google. People started changing their search when they were looking for the model. So they did what we all do. They typed in Wil Reynolds. They found this guy and all of his content. And they said, that is not what I wanted. So what do you do when you don't find what you want? You hit the back button, which is exactly what they did. Once you hit the back button, Google goes, well, a lot of people that search for Wil Reynolds are hitting the back button. A lot of them then modify their search to include model or go to image search. So why are we gonna have to make a user do multiple searches to find what they want? Very easily, Google's machines learned that if you were looking for Wil Reynolds the model, enough people were searching for it that they just said, let's get this Wil Reynolds out of the image results, and let's instead put the other Wil Reynolds in. And that's how I started losing my position in image search for Wil Reynolds. And the reason why that was good for users is because Google knew that I was the wrong match for a subset of users, and those users only cared about image results. So notice, if you had to search for my name, you would have still found my LinkedIn, my YouTube, and all those things. But for image results, I wasn't the right guy. Now, I use that to kind of talk about something personally funny, but now let's go into how it actually affects business. So here's the tale of two clients. One of them sold water coolers. And Seer, having learned about what happened to Wil Reynolds, those searches, took a step back and we looked at the results and we said to our client, you're a B2B with a lead gen form trying to sell water coolers to companies like Seer. When you look at the suggested results, when you look at the related searches at the bottom, when you look at all the snippets and all the sites that show up, almost all of them, 80, 90% of them were e-commerce. You saw Walmart, you saw Home Depot, you saw Amazon. And our client doesn't sell water coolers directly to people. The number one search we saw, water coolers for home. And we could not overcome that impasse. Now what's really interesting today is if you Google water coolers, you'll notice all the paid search results are companies trying to sell big water coolers into companies. But that's actually not what people want, and Google's pretty much already telling us that. Now maybe, just maybe, it's worth going after all the wrong people to get a few of the right ones. I'm not saying that that's not worth going after. What I am saying though, is you have to realize that when Google's machine learning tells it that all the things people want are companies to go buy a water cooler from, you might want to think twice. And ultimately, that project did not work out the way that we or that client planned. But now I want to tell you about a client who did take that step back, and they're in the cloud computing space. And for 3 years, they were trying to get on the first page of Google for the word cloud computing. And they tried, and they hired companies, and they kept building links and writing content, but they couldn't crack the top 10. And to be honest with you, 3 years ago, you didn't see Salesforce there, or Microsoft there, or Google there, or Amazon there. Those companies were not ranking. A lot of smaller publisher sites were actually ranking for the words. And here's why. Let's go do a search for cloud computing. Over here, you can see that people are looking for images. Why? Because it's easier to describe what cloud computing is to a newbie by drawing it out for them, right? You can also see Wikipedia. What do you go to Wikipedia for? Definitions. And then look at the suggested results. Words like definition, advantages, pros and cons, What is it? What is it in simple terms? When people are searching for that, they're saying, I don't know what it is. So our client allowed us to work on a page that just defined what cloud computing was. And sure enough, after 2.5 years of not ranking for it, within months, they got in the top 5 for that keyword at the time, and we projected it's driving 300,000 extra visits to them every year. And what does that tell us about how good Google's getting? Google will suppress a site for keywords that they have more algorithmic matches to because it doesn't match the user intent. The users wanted to know what it was, and until your big company doesn't give it to users the way they want it, Google was willing to suppress that. That was decent. I'm back. So after watching that long video, something I want to remind you of is in the last 3 months, our company has recorded more videos than we have in the last 3 years. So we're making a huge commitment to YouTube. So hopefully somewhere up here or somewhere, there's a subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all the cool shit we're going to be talking about next. Take care.